Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Back in February, I made a video discussing how I needed to regain my motivation for working out again. In that video, I made a challenge for myself that consisted of a 3-part plan that I needed to complete by the end of March. Part 1 was pretty simple. To hopefully help myself be more accountable and feel like I need to do my workouts more, was to be posting every time I completed a workout on my Instagram story. The second part, which to me, I think is the hardest part, was I had to catch up on all the miles I had missed in January and February. If you don't know, by the end of the year, I want to complete 824 kilometers, which is 512 miles. I picked this number specifically because it is my birthday this year and it happens to be my golden birthday. I turned the same age that is the date of my birthday, so I went with 824. In that video, I said part 3 would be a surprise, and the surprise was that I was going to try and complete all these different workout routines every single week in March from all these other people. After I finished and uploaded the video, I had come up with 2 other things that I wanted to put into this challenge for myself that were kind of important but not super important. My goal was to try and take as little rest days as possible. Usually I do about 2 rest days every week, so that's what I was kind of like aiming for. I will say, if you've watched the videos from the past month, you know that I definitely exceeded my 10 rest days, so that's why I was like, this is not as important, but you know, I would like to try and use as little as possible. I also totaled up how many workouts I was going to be doing that month, and it was 22. So my goal that month was also to complete all 22 workouts. I decided that I wanted to give myself an extra layer of motivation besides just the you should be doing this because it's healthy for you and it's good for you. So I came up with the idea that if I complete this, I'm going to reward myself with a new fitness tracker. I've had my current Fitbit for years now. I actually don't even wear it anymore because the band has broken on it 101 times and I just don't want to keep buying bands anymore. So I figured this is perfect. Plus, where it takes your pulse, there's a nice crack in there, so it doesn't really take my pulse accurate anymore. So I figured this is the perfect reward to give to myself. Now, the reason I'm getting myself a Fitbit and not something like a Garmin or a Coro is because, you know, those are great watches and who wouldn't want one of those? One, budget. We don't have a big budget here, so we gotta go cheap. But I also just really want this for simply tracking steps, tracking miles, and taking my pulse. I definitely would want to get like a fancier watch in the future, but I think I also need to progress a little bit more in my running journey before I get a watch that will like be dedicated specifically for that. All right, now that I've explained what I had to do for the challenge, I'm gonna go a little out of order and go through each part and tell you if I've achieved that part or not. If you saw my last 5 videos, then you know that I did complete all 5 workout plans that I had created from other people, but I didn't follow them 100% to a T, which then kind of messed up the Instagram challenge because if I didn't do the workout, then there was nothing to post on that because that really relied heavily on completing the workout. So, fun fact here, the Lara Croft video, along with most of the housewife video, does not even count for March. I had to film those in February so that I could actually get them up for March. So anything I did for them don't count for the miles and don't count for the workouts. Our biggest speed bump that we had was actually the Captain Marvel video because it was pre-period week, so the hormones were going crazy. I ended up with 2 giant cystic acne pimples on my face. That whole week, I felt like Justin from Wizards of Waverly Place when he had that talking zit. I felt like I was a matter of minutes away from mine starting to have a conversation with each other. So when you combine those giant pimples on my face and then not really wanting to film myself because I have 2 giant pimples on my face with the fact that I did not like her workout, left us in like complete disarray, and not doing her workout, and then by not going down to do weights, I wasn't really walking on the treadmill, so I had missed 4 days of miles. So the second biggest speed bump hit us while I was filming the last video, which was the Rocky video, and if you saw that, you might know I made a big mistake. If you didn't see it though, I took my vitamins like I do every morning, and somehow, instead of taking my vitamins, I took my mom's vitamins. Now, it would have been fine if I took her vitamins because we take the same exact vitamins, but she happens to have a high blood pressure pill in hers, and as somebody who gets really low blood pressure the week of her period, not the best idea for me to take a pill that's supposed to lower your blood pressure. The only benefit of this was that before the pill had fully kicked in, I was able to go on the treadmill, get a 5K done, so that was great, but then I had to take the next 2 days off because the pill still had not worn out entirely out of my system, weirdly enough. So I ended up missing those 2 days, which then cut out 2 days of miles. So after doing the Rocky video, I kind of realized I have a big issue.
So is the 25th, I think,
And I know that by the end of the week, I am not gonna clear this challenge at all. Now, could I walk a lot of miles? Yes, but the longest I've ever walked is like 4 miles. And even if I do just 4 miles every day, I'm still like not gonna clear this by any means. So I'm like, crap. My mom, however, though, did give me a pretty good idea. She said that I should give myself like an extra 5 days, like kind of like how when you sometimes pay bills, they won't like put the late fee on if you pay in like 3 days after your bill is supposed to be due. So with that being said, we're gonna run with that idea here. We're gonna give myself 5 extra days. Now here's the thing, by giving myself 5 extra days means that this challenge will end on April 5th, which is the exact same day that this video has to go up, which is gonna make it a little bit more challenging, but also I think it's fair because, like, you know, like, hey, the video is not done completely yet, right? So maybe, I don't know. I do wish I could be like, oh, I feel so much more confident with 5 extra days, but I don't, because I still have like 29 miles or maybe almost 30. I don't know. It's still a lot of miles that I'm going to have to do in like, what, like 10 days now? So not feeling super confident still. The only way that I'm gonna feel like confident in ending this week is if I can get half the miles done. So I will see you in the future, and hopefully I will have done half the miles. I was coming to put you guys in the closet here because it's Sunday, but there are children screaming next door, so we're just gonna move right along here. It's Sunday. I can't think of a kid screaming. I have completed 17.24 miles this week. That is the most miles I have ever done in a whole week. Pretty much I did 5Ks the whole entire week, except for one day I took like a rest day just because I really needed it. But one of the days I did 1 mile, and that 1 mile was basically me just climbing flights of stairs and then descending them. I don't know why I didn't like think that through, but like my calves hurt. They still hurt. So not the best idea. And then, so to top off the pain in my calves from climbing the stairs today and yesterday, I went and I don't even know why I did the same exact route, but I did. I went into the same exact route, and it was so hilly. Like the first time going into this, I had no clue that there was gonna be this many like hills, and it was like little hills, but very steep little hills. I shouldn't have done it today. I should have known that I shouldn't have done it today because my calves still hurt from climbing the stairs. Then they hurt from doing the hills. And now they hurt because I did it again. And also on the road, like if you don't walk perfectly in the center of the road, then it's like crooked. And apparently, there's just no sidewalks. Like how do you have a town and have no sidewalks? Like where are all the sidewalks? Where are people supposed to walk? Don't get me started on walkability in towns though. I can't, because I'll lose my mind. But all I'm gonna say is good luck to upcoming me, because your calves are hurting now, and I'm sure they're gonna hurt tomorrow, and hopefully they'll stop hurting throughout the week, but best of luck. I set you up for a horrible scenario of very, very, very painful calves, and also my ankle's a little sore because I think that's where I was going, but the kids keep screaming and I keep getting distracted by it. But when I would walk on the unlevel ground, I would walk and this like foot would be lower, or like it would be on a slant, so now my right ankle kind of hurts a little bit, but whatever. Good luck, future me. All right, so let's tally everything up here. So for posting the workouts, I did post every single workout I did. Now there were a few days where I posted it the next day, but I didn't really think fully through this challenge because I forgot that I don't have the best memory, and it was only 4 days, so we're just gonna give it a pass because every time I did work out, I did make a post. Now, for the workout aspect, I did 17 out of 22 of the planned workouts, which I think is pretty good. Now, the reason it's so low is because obviously with Captain Marvel, I kind of scrapped a lot of hers, so I think if we didn't do hers, we would be okay. Also, when I had originally made this plan, we were gonna do 5 days of my mom's workout routine, but then she was like, oh, but I can do it also in just 3 days. So when you remove those aspects, then I think we aced it, but with those, not really. So if we don't remove those days, then we completed 77% of the workout, which is like a B or a C depending on what your school does. And in my school, that's considered a passing grade, so I think we can give it a pass. Now, for the most important part, did we complete all the miles that we had planned? So for day 1, we can add 2 miles to our total. I originally was going to do 2 miles in the morning and then go out to do another 2 miles in the afternoon outside, but Mother Nature had other plans and decided to have a nice little rainstorm, but that's fine. No worries, we still have 4 days. So day 2 me should time travel back to day 1 me and say, can you not have the realization yet that you might have sleep apnea? Because you then keep yourself up for half the night because you can't fully sleep because you keep waking yourself up because you're trying to make sure you're breathing. So because I barely slept the night before, I did not get up that morning to go work out, and I was like, okay, it's fine, we can just walk in the afternoon. But no, Mother Nature said April showers galore, and we did not get outside to do a walk, and I was like, okay, it's fine, that's fine. We can still make it up. We have 3 days left. So day 3 might be the most interesting way we got miles yet. Now in the morning, I got up and I was gonna go walk on the treadmill like I always do. Typically, I walk on this one same treadmill, but someone moved it. And because they moved it, it somehow unleveled the treadmill. So it is like weird when you walk on it now. And then the other treadmill skips if you go up in speed. It starts skipping all of a sudden. So with that being said, both treadmills are pretty much out of commission. On top of that, something was going on in my sneakers that like the tongue was just like bulging into the top of my foot. So like it was an overall mess. Somehow I walked 0.15 miles. I don't know how I did that. I don't even know how I almost got a quarter of a mile done, but I did. And I was just like, you know what? I need to go upstairs. I need to go collect my thoughts because I just can't. I can't walk right now. We will figure it out later in the afternoon. So the original plan that we came up with was to just go outside. We'll just walk and it'll be fine. But no, of course not, because it's still raining. So my mom came up with the idea that we should just go inside our building and walk all the laps of the building floor and just keep doing it until we hit the miles we need. And that is exactly what we did. Somehow, we ended up walking an entire 4 miles just lapping our building. I have no clue how we did that, but we did. And listen, I get it. It's a little like, okay, all right. But I want to complete this challenge so bad. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I look probably a little weird to all my fellow neighbors, but you know what? Whatever. So for day 4, the weather had been on and off raining. It's kind of raining, kind of not raining. So we were screwed again and not able to go outside and walk. So we did 4 miles inside our building again. I know, a little weird, but guess what? That's another 4 miles added. Now, you may expect me to say for our final day we did this, but I am filming this prior to the final day. So I have no clue how many miles I've walked yet, which is a little scary. So I have to send this over to future me to reveal how we did. We are stretching 4.5 miles.
Bring it up.
That doesn't do anything for me.
Turn. Oh, you should feel it in your calf.
Well, yeah. This is like not a balanced surface to this. We can just take a second before we walk away. I don't know if you can hear me. It's very windy. Siri said it's not windy. It's just like 14 per mile hour gust of wind. And
She said that it was.
she just pulled this out of her fanny. So, I don't know.
Time 33 minutes 11 seconds. Total distance 1.5 miles. Current pace.
We gotta go.
Wow.
All right, so we are back home. My glasses are still somehow dark. I've been inside for probably almost like a half hour now, but we have done it. We did 4.5 miles, so we completed the challenge. Also, I forgot while I was filming that I never mentioned my ranking for the videos. So I'm gonna just quickly come up with it right now in my mind because I was so focused on the miles, I never even mentioned it. So I think we're gonna go Tomb Raider first because I think it was the most unique and it provided different things and I was sore and it was challenging. I think Housewives second because I liked a lot of the moves. It was very basic. Then I was gonna actually put you third. I was gonna put you third because I think it was good. It was organized. It wasn't a mess. Then Rocky fourth because Rocky was a mess and unorganized, I think. And who else is at the bottom but Captain Marvel? I feel like my glasses are getting darker while I'm speaking to you, right? I think they look like they're getting darker on camera. But that is the official ranking. I have to set it back to past me because I filmed 2 different outros. I filmed one where I completed the challenge and one where I failed the challenge like they did in Camp Rock 2. So sending it back to past me. All right, if this is the take that gets to go in the video, then I am happy to say we have officially caught up on all our miles and we are set up for April. Kind of. The reason I say kinda is because technically for this first 5 days in April, I was just focusing on completing the miles that I missed in March, and I did not focus on any miles that I had actually planned for those days for April. So lucky for me, past me doubted myself so much that I gave myself so many 1 mile walks to do throughout April that as long as I turn those 1 mile walks into 2 mile walks, I will complete April with ease. And typically I walk 2 miles every day, so I think we'll be fine. And if we're not, that's future me's problem. So my personal official ruling on this challenge is a pass. And I say that because my most important thing for me was really catching up on these miles. And I did do that. Did I do it with a 5-day extension? Yes, but I did do it. And I do feel like also all the rest days I did take throughout this month were genuinely needed. They weren't just because like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym. They were because I genuinely needed to rest my body. One of the things that also went into making me want to give this challenge a pass is some things that I didn't even know were going to happen this month. I was able to do my fastest 5K yet. I also had the realization that in these past 3 months, I walked more miles than I did in all of 2023. I also ended up having 2 non-scale victories this month. One was the fact that I have shirts now that I never wore before. I mean, look, I'm wearing blue, people. I've been wearing green for like how many months now? I was able to go through my whole closet and go through shirts that I have not worn in years or that I bought years ago and never wore because they were too small. And now some of them are either A, so big that they kind of look bad, B, they fit right, or C, they are just right there from completely fitting me. So that is like insane in itself. Another non-scale victory came from the fact that I had to keep taking my blood pressure so much. And I had the realization that in the past, when I would put the cuff from the blood pressure machine on, it actually would not go around my arm. And if it did go around my arm, as soon as it would start to inflate, it would have to pop off because it couldn't stay closed anymore. And then the blood pressure cuff actually got me thinking even more. And I realized that when I had went to the doctor a few months ago, they were able to use the normal blood pressure cuff on my arm. Typically in the past, they would have to size up to the bigger cuff. So I think those little non-scale victories, completing a faster 5K and completing all these extra miles, I think those add in and kind of fill out the parts that we had missed for this challenge. With all that being said, I do have official plans to go out and get my Fitbit. I will definitely be doing a video sharing my thoughts on the Fitbit, but it probably won't come out for a little bit just because I really want to give it as much testing as possible before I share my thoughts on it. That is all for this week though. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me try this little challenge. I will say I'm working on a few other challenges currently behind the scenes, so stay tuned for those videos. I also plan on showing you guys my workout routine as I feel it's only fair since I did do everybody else's. But till then, I hope you guys enjoyed and roll the outro.